Okay, the big story out of Pittsburgh this entire offseason has been who is going to replace Ben Roethlisberger as a starting quarterback. A lot of names have been floated around so far this offseason, some big, some small, some veterans, some rookies. Miles, what's the latest on that front?
And I think that's a great point, Nick. Some veterans, some rookies. And what would be the best option? Pittsburgh has really been scrambling to try to figure out who is going to be the best fit. And I've got some names on a list for you, and I've gone ahead and narrowed it down for them as well. So the free agent options I'm seeing linked to Pittsburgh are Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, and Mitchell Trubisky. The other option is through the draft. Pittsburgh has been linked to very much liking Malik Willis as well, but I don't think that he's going to be around for them there, so that is not an option for me. Of these, especially as of late, all the news that's come out, Mitchell Trubisky looks like a very good option for the Steelers. What's one thing Mike Tomlin has said constantly? Got to have a mobile quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky, mobile quarterback, really great. Was he destroyed by Matt Nagy just like Justin Fields was? Probably. I think it's an interesting factor to go into account. He was a one-time Pro Bowler. That has something to go along with it as well. Very good plus side, upside here. I think Mitchell Trubisky is someone you can get. He is a backup quarterback for the Bills, so you can probably get him for a fair price. I think he's a great mobile quarterback. He has a good arm. And the Bills have been saying nothing but great things about Trubisky all offseason, obviously in a ploy to try to unload him on a team. It's the Ryan Mallett, Brock Osweiler effect. But the GM, Brandon Beane, even went so far to say is he's the kind of guy that you'd want to marry your daughter. So, Nick, how does this make you feel about Trubisky?
So you hit the nail on the head when you talk about upside. So Trubisky, for all intents and purposes, he had one, I think, decent year where he made the Pro Bowl, like you said, in Chicago, but he was not very good in Chicago, average to below average. It was kind of where he lived. Despite all that, he made the playoffs twice. The year that he didn't, he had his rookie year where they didn't make the playoffs, and his other year they went 8-8. I think they're right around 500, a decent team. They didn't make a run in the playoffs, but they made the playoffs twice and were 500. Look at Pittsburgh the last 4 years. Just missed the playoffs, right around 500. If they make it, they're one and done. So that if the downside is true, if Mitchell Trubisky really is a bust and he plays like he does in Chicago, nothing changes in Pittsburgh. You're still fighting for a playoff berth. You still have 8 wins, 9 wins. That's exactly who you are. But the upside is, like you said, what if Matt Nagy just really ruined Trubisky? What if Nagy, like Justin Fields looked bad? Andy Dalton had the worst career and statistically in terms of passer rating, the worst year of his career with the Bears last year under Matt Nagy. Stable, consistent Andy Dalton took a nosedive. There is a chance, and a better than zero chance, that Trubisky is a lot better than we saw in Chicago, and that he can, realize that upside, so to speak, going to Pittsburgh this offseason. I think it's a great potential move, and like you said, they can get him fairly cheap. And it's a great situation for a guy like Trubisky too, right? Because they have a good running game. It's a culture. It's a good environment, pretty good defense, a couple nice receivers. He doesn't have to go out there and, try and just carry the load for the team. Like, he automatically is probably a better roster overall with Pittsburgh if Trubisky goes there now than he did in Chicago, certainly on offense. So I just think it's a great fit for both sides. And I think this is kind of an emerging thing. There is a lot of legs to this. And I think Trubisky has a really good shot of being a Steelers starting quarterback next year.
And people may ask, okay, is this another Sam Darnold was ruined by Adam Gase? And then it turns out Sam Darnold actually sucked. But there's another factor in here that is involved. Okay. Trubisky was under Nagy. He had some terrible years. He leaves. He goes to the Bills and can learn from Josh Allen, another great quarterback who has a similar set of skills that he has. And he gets developed by some truly good coaches. And then there's a year or so of growth involved. And then he goes on to the new team to show them what he can do. It's not just, okay, you sucked under Adam Gase, let's ship you on out. Sam Darnold never had that growth year from a really good team that could show him what to do. So I think that's the key factor, key difference. If people are worried that, okay, Gase was allegedly ruined tons of quarterbacks, but none of them flourished afterwards. This is the hidden factor right here, and that is why I like the fit of Trubisky to the Steelers.
And there's another side of it too. You brought up the Sam Darnold effect. But the thing with Trubisky was he came out of college, out of University of North Carolina. He started 1 year at like University of North Carolina, but they're an above average ACC school at best. They are not a dominant program, where he has to carry a lot of, he's got to be the face of a franchise like he would be at Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Southern Cal. So he comes to the NFL with 1 year of experience at an average D1 school, North Carolina, and then he's immediately thrust in the starting lineup. And he has to deal with Matt Nagy, who, as we all know, has had issues. There is a good chance, like you said, he never really developed. He never got a chance to, just learn to be a quarterback, learn how to manage day-to-day, learn how to read an NFL offense. And who does he team up with last year? Brian Daboll, who was the offensive coordinator with the Buffalo Bills, now head coach of New York Giants, who did wonders with Josh Allen. After 1 year, people were worried if Josh Allen could play quarterback in the NFL, if he could complete passes. He had a lot of problems. He developed under Daboll, Josh Allen did, into a legitimate superstar and franchise quarterback. Trubisky could follow this path just as likely and go to Pittsburgh and have a lot of success.